Hello everyone. So we were discussed about namespaces in our previous video. So as per our declaration, as per our definition, so it is very simple. A namespace is acts like a container where we can represent a data, functionalities, and your classes or objects. So instead of representing your data in a global mode, so we are providing some kind of security for your variables and functionalities. So what is that, and we will see, and how this namespace are going to be important for us while writing a program instead of your global data, so that we will see. So here I am representing as include IO stream, and I'm defining using namespace std. So then this is a mandatory statement for us. So then we can go for uh, to represent some variable equals to 10. So here I am represented some kind of variable. So this is a global variable as our declaration, so anybody can able to access it and anybody can able to do the modifications for it. Nobody is asking, nobody is doing any kind of limitations for your data. For example, I am going to represent C out of A, right? So done, compilation successfully, and the code is going to be executed, right? 10 is going to be projected on your console. So for this 10a, I'm going to add one more thing, that is a equals to 20. I'm assigning this, so a value is going to be finalized as the value of 20. So I'm going to compile this program. I'm trying to project the value of a. So when I'm going to do this, so successfully compiled, and I'm going for execution. Now the execution part is showing for 20. Who is given authentication, who is modified, who was done. So there is no kind of information we are having. So this may lead some kind of safety and security issues inside your program. This is a basic approach. So you can't say that in a different mode. So this is the basic one. So instead of representing your global data, I want to provide some kind of safety and security for your declaration. So that is the reason I'm going to represent a namespace. Inside your namespace you can represent the data whatever you want. So before entering into it, can we able to create a namespace without name, or can we create, can this name representation is mandatory? So we need to discuss on this. So this is a not a mandatory thing. So the namespace may contains a name or may not be contain a name. So here I'm going to represent a namespace that this namespace may consist with your data, right? Like int a equals to 10, or you can represent your uh, functionality is called void f. So I'm writing for this, and I'm printing something called cout and saying hello, right? So I'm not writing anything, I'm not doing anything. I was represented a namespace. Inside my namespace I'm writing a variable, and I'm going for some kind of functionality. So then I'm terminating my statements, and I'm going for int main. Inside int main I'm representing two different kind of statements that are saying cout a. So I'm just compiling it. Yes, compilation done successfully. I'm trying to project my output, so a value is printed. So this is like your normal name, normal global data. And one more thing is I'm trying to print something like function name. So here I'm calling a function called f. So there are no kind of limitations, so we doesn't have any kind of security for your data over here. So here I'm doing some kind of modifications for your data, that is to 20, right? So I'm trying to project something on my console, right? So here I'm doing compilation, I'm going for execution. Now see this is very simple, and whatever the variable represented in namespace that are used inside your int main, and you can able to modify your data, and you can able to call your functionalities. There are no limitations we are having. So without a name, if you are representing any kind of namespace, that is called as anonymous namespace, right? So that are treated as anonymous namespace. So if you are going to represent anonymous namespace, so there is one more limitations, there is one more point we need to remember. Can we create one more namespace with anonymous data? So yes, I am going to create one more namespace. I'm opening it, I'm closing it. So here this namespace is doesn't containing anything, and this namespace is doesn't containing anything. As per our information, this has to be duplicate the data. For example, if I am not duplicating anything, I am representing one more functionality called cout f1, and I'm projecting something called as hi. So I'm closing it. Now inside my int main, I'll try to do a function called f1. So I'm doing f1. So here there is nothing is going to be happen. Why? Because f1 function definition is different from your f function. So I am happily executing my code. So there are no limitations I am having on the console. But here we need to remember one thing. If I'm going to represent f, right, so same data is going to be same functionality is redefining again and again. So there you are facing a kind of issue that is saying that this anonymous functionalities whatever we represented, those are duplicating, it is redefining itself. So we are facing some kind of issue while calling your namespace. There is no differentiation in between your namespace void f and void f, so we can't able to call f function. Why? Because the duplication is available here. So as when you are working with namespaces, there are two types. One is anonymous namespace and second one is named namespaces. When you are working with anonymous namespaces, there we have some kind of limitation. There is no security for your data and there is no safety for your functionalities. Anybody can able to access it and anybody can able to do modifications for your particular things. And one more limitation is when you are going to define multiple anonymous namespace, if they are consisting with different kind of functionalities, there is no issue in it. If you are using same definitions, same functionality name, same variable name, then your compiler is going to throw a redefinition issue. To overcome this kind of issues, we need to work with a named namespaces. So we will see what are the advantages with that and why we need to go for named namespaces in our next class, right? Thank you.